Imagine looking at a panda for the first time. It's almost hard to believe such a creature exists. How could something so clumsy and odd be the product of powerful evolutionary forces that gave us apex predators like lions or wolves? If you lean toward intelligent design, you might see the panda as evidence that animals were created, not evolved. But if that's true, why would a creator make something so bizarre? The panda seems like a round, confused mistake, a living contradiction, awkwardly clinging to survival. Yes, they're cute, but when you realise how poorly pandas function as a species, it's tough not to be a little sceptical. They evolved to eat one of the worst possible food sources, bamboo, a plant with low nutritional value and toxins that most other animals avoid entirely. To get enough nutrients, pandas must eat for up to 12 hours a day, every day. Despite belonging to the bear family, which includes carnivores and omnivores like grizzlies and polar bears, pandas are outliers. They rely almost entirely on bamboo. In the wild, this diet forces them to live far apart from one another just to have enough food, making it incredibly difficult to find mates, contributing to their low birth rates and pushing them closer to extinction. On top of that, pandas seem to lack basic survival instincts. They often fall out of trees and behave like every day is their first on Earth. One of their more bizarre habits, pandas poop over 40 times a day. And if they get the chance, they'll roll in horse manure, covering themselves from head to toe. In fact, a group of pandas is known as an embarrassment of pandas, which feels oddly appropriate. Still, evolution doesn't make mistakes for fun. Every adaptation happens for a reason. So how could being awkward, bamboo-obsessed and poop-loving possibly be beneficial? Let's rewind millions of years. Pandas are part of the bear family, which diverged from dog-like ancestors around 40 million years ago. Roughly 23 million years ago, one branch of the bear family evolved into all other bears. The other, it led to just one species, the giant panda. Sometime between 6 and 7 million years ago, pandas began transitioning to a bamboo diet and evolved a bizarre feature to help: a false thumb. It's actually a modified wrist bone that acts like a thumb, perfect for gripping bamboo stalks. But here's the strange part. Pandas still have the anatomy of a meat eater: sharp teeth, claws, and a short digestive tract. Unlike herbivores, which have long, complex guts for breaking down plant fibre, pandas digest only about 20% of the bamboo they eat. That's why they need to consume up to 77 pounds, 35 kilograms, of it daily. And why they poop so much. So why did they choose bamboo in the first place? Well, 2 to 7 million years ago, southern China was rich in bamboo, one of the fastest growing plants on Earth. In these forests, bamboo dominated so much that very few other plants grew there. And since most animals avoided it, pandas had a buffet all to themselves, if they could adapt. Then something odd happened. Around 4.2 million years ago, pandas lost the ability to taste umami, the savoury flavour found in meat, due to a mutation in the T1R1 gene. Meat no longer tasted good to them. As a result, they gradually lost interest in hunting and eventually relied almost entirely on bamboo. Even though they'll still snack on fruit or eggs if available, bamboo forests aren't rich in these options. By around 2.4 million years ago, pandas had fully committed to bamboo, one of the worst choices for a carnivore turned herbivore. Bamboo contains cyanogenic compounds, toxins that can be deadly to mammals if consumed raw. Most herbivores have enzymes to break these down. Pandas don't. Instead, they rely on gut bacteria, like Pseudomonas fluorescens, to neutralize the toxins. Plus, they cleverly choose the least toxic parts of the plant, depending on the season. Surprisingly, even with a bamboo-heavy diet, pandas manage to absorb protein levels similar to carnivores, thanks to the high protein content in young bamboo shoots and leaves at certain growth stages. Their energy intake, 61% from protein, 23% from carbs, and 16% from fat, a nutrient profile closer to a meat-eater than an herbivore. Still, pandas lead low-energy lives. Instead of hibernating like other bears, they power through winter by continuing to eat bamboo and staying active. This demands energy, so pandas conserve it in every possible way. Their round bodies and sluggish movements aren't just adorable, they're efficient. Sometimes they seem to fall or roll just because it's the easiest way to get around. But bamboo can't solve everything, especially when it comes to reproduction. Pandas are solitary creatures with large territories, avoiding each other most of the year. During a brief spring mating window, females are fertile for only 2 to 7 days. Even when mating is successful, twins are common, but mums can only raise one cub, meaning the other rarely survives. One of the weirdest panda behaviours is rolling in horse manure, especially during winter. Scientists think chemicals in the manure might help them tolerate the cold. Others believe they just like it. The truth is, even if this behaviour helps with the cold, it doesn't solve their deeper survival challenges. Some models show that even without human interference, pandas might have been headed for extinction anyway, simply because they're so specialised and poorly adapted to changing environments. But humans haven't helped. Since the 1700s, deforestation, farming and infrastructure like roads and dams have fragmented panda habitats. Hunting made things worse. Today, only about 1,800 pandas remain in the wild, living in isolated mountain forests. Captive breeding programs have pulled pandas back from the brink. Scientists are now working to reconnect wild habitats using forest corridors, so pandas can find mates more easily. Saving pandas is expensive and complex, raising the question, should we bother rescuing a species that seems to be designed for extinction? But the panda isn't just an evolutionary curiosity. It's part of the ecosystem, and it deserves protection like any other species. If anything, its strange existence reminds us of our duty to care for the natural world and the incredible, unlikely creatures that live in it.